Hari. In this video, very quickly we are going to see why we need to mine the data and some of the definitions for data mining. So when we have lots of data being collected through web data, through e-commerce, whenever there is a purchase happening in a particular department or in a grocery store or in the bank transactions, we are going to collect lots of data, and all these data are being stored somewhere in a data warehouse. And not only that, nowadays computers have become cheaper and it is very powerful also. Competitive pressure is very high, and to provide better customized services for an edge, we need to mine the data. We have to understand what happens in the previous data, whether we have any kind of hidden patterns that will help us to give better customized service. So because of huge amount of data, because the computers are cheaper and powerful, and the competition, business competition is very high, and the pressure is too much, then we have to understand whether the data collected will help us to improve the business. And not only that, the data collected and stored are in a very faster manner. The speed is enormous. Say in gigabytes per hour, or sometimes I can say gigabytes in minutes, we are going to collect the data. How do we collect the data? We can collect the data using remote sensors, telescopes, microarrays, expression data, scientific stimulations. These are some of the techniques that we use to collect the data. So these data collected in this particular enormous speed, say gigabytes per hour or per minute, it is going to generate terabytes of data. So when we have this terabytes of data, all the traditional techniques will be very inefficient for analyzing the raw data, and it is infeasible for the raw data. So your traditional data analysis is not enough to understand whether the data will help in improving the business functions. Therefore, the data mining is going to help the scientists. How it is going to help them? In classifying and segmenting the data, and also in the case of hypothesis formation. So that is where the data mining was introduced. So I can say, though we have lots of data and computers are very powerful, and since the competition is very high, the traditional data analysis techniques are not enough to understand or to analyze the data stored at this particular speed. So the data mining will help the scientist in understand and help them how whether the data can be classified and segmented properly, whether any kind of hypothesis can be formed, and whether we can prove whether the hypothesis is true or false. Say for example, if the organization wants to know who is going to be the best customer in the next month. For the past 1 year, they are having the customer information, customer transactions. So from these customer transactions, they want to understand who will be or who is going to be the customer in the next month purchasing more items from the supermarket? Who can give a best who is likely to be the best customer next month? So this kind of hypothesis question you can frame, and the result can be got using the data mining technique. So because there is often information hidden in the large amount of data that is readily evident, and human analyst will take even weeks to discover some kind of useful information from this large amount of data, because most of the data will never be analyzed using the human efficiency. Thereby, the data mining will help in understanding and classifying as well as segmenting the data, from where we can form some hypothesis, and you can use the data mining techniques to test the hypothesis and derive a conclusion. So this is the reason why data mining is important. One, large amount of data. Computers are very powerful. Competition is very high, and to provide better services, and the collected data is a large, huge, and it is also collected in a very faster manner. So the traditional analysis will not be enough to analyze these data. So the scientists will seek the help of data mining, because data mining is capable of classifying and segmenting the data in a very efficient manner. And not only that, the hypothesis formation can also be done, which can be tested to provide whether the hypothesis is true or false. If so, we can understand what is data mining. So data, please note that the spelling is M-I-N-I-N-G, mining. There are different definitions available for data mining. Let us just quickly go through what are the different definitions available. One definition is, it is a non-trivial extraction of implicit, but previously unknown and potentially useful information from the existing data. So one definition says data mining is nothing but non-trivial. Non-trivial means, trivial means very simple, but non-trivial means it is very important. Important extraction of implicit, because the pattern is not known already, it is already hidden, and previously unknown. Implicit and it is previously unknown patterns, but these patterns are very useful patterns which is available in the existing data. So this you want to extract, you can call it as data mining. Or exploration and analysis by automatic or semi-automatic means of large quantities of data in order to discover meaningful patterns. So you are not going to simply analyze, but you are going to explore it. You are going to explore it. So when you explore, you can use any automatic technique, or you can use even semi-automatic technique. But you are going to do it on a large quantity of data. Huge amount of data will be taken for exploring and analysis. Why you want to explore and analyze? You want to discover some meaningful patterns. Or data mining is also defined as the practice of examining large pre-existing databases in order to generate new hidden information. Or you can say data mining, which is also called as data or knowledge discovery, but this is not completely true, because knowledge discovery knowledge discovery from databases is using data mining as one of the steps to derive the data, but sometimes the data mining and KDD are used interchangeably. It is a process of analyzing data from different perspectives and summarizing it into useful information which can be used to increase the revenue, cuts costs, or both. So this is another definition that you can have for data mining. So data mining is sorting through the data to identify some kind of patterns and establish relationship. So data mining parameters include association, sequence path analysis, classification, clustering and forecasting, or you can say these are some of the techniques that are used in the data mining. These are some of the data mining parameters, or you call it as data mining methods or techniques. One is association. The association will be looking for some kind of patterns where one event is connected to another event, whether one item or an object is connected to another object. You want to find out the patterns that specify whether any object is associated or related or connected to another object. So that is what association technique is all about. Sequence or path analysis will be looking for some kind of patterns where one event lead to another event. Say for example, in your Flipkart or in your Amazon, when you purchase a bridal wear, it will be recommending you. It will be recommending you these are the accessories people look for for this particular attire. So what it says, so one event, what is that event? Selecting a bride wear is one event that leads to another event. How most of the customers who has selected a particular bride wear will also select some of the accessories. So from the past history, the system has automatically understood a pattern. What pattern? Selection of bridal wear will also go for selecting accessories. So automatically the system will start recommending, because selection of one will lead to another selection. So this is what you call a sequence or path analysis. The third one is classification. Classification will be looking for new patterns. It will result in change in the way the data is organized also. So when a new object is coming in, the system will find out whether any new pattern is available, whether the new object can be grouped in class 1, class 2, class 3, etc. The same way, clustering is also a grouping technique. Here it is a finding and visually documenting groups of facts not previously known. Here in the classification, when a new object is coming in, the object will also have a label. So based on the label, it will be classified. But here, there will not be any label. It is not known earlier how to group it. But based on the similarities, it is going to group it in a particular cluster. Forecasting is nothing but predicting, right? Discovering some patterns in the data which will lead to reasonable prediction. Say for example, the bank wants to predict whether the customer, right, whether the applicant, let me say applicant, the loan applicant will be able to pay the loan properly or not. The bank wants to predict it. Then you call it as forecasting. So the bank will be based on the past history, it will analyze, it will understand, and it will collect some of the parameters. So based on the values of the parameters, it will decide whether the applicant will be a safe customer or a riskful customer. So if he is a safe customer, then the application will be accepted. Otherwise, the application will be rejected. So these kind of predictions can be done by using the forecasting. And remember, all these techniques are coming under machine learning techniques. And most of the e-commerce organizations and the banking sectors, they are all using these machine learning techniques nowadays to improve their business or to take decisions in their business. Now when you see here, so this I have got from the internet. just to differentiate what is data mining and what is not data mining. Say for example, when you look up a phone number in a phone directory is not data mining, but you say when you look, I mean when you trace through the phone numbers, you can find certain names are more prevalent in certain US locations. Then that is data mining. Not looking for a phone number, but when you browse through the directory, the system understands that some of the names are prevalent in some locations. So that means it is a dense location for a particular community. That can be understood if you are using data mining technique. Okay. So data mining is not just looking for a particular information. Instead, it is looking for some hidden pattern. Some hidden pattern. But for example, if you are going to have a phone directory and in the phone directory from a particular location, the names are having surnames. So surnames will be there in the directory. So if the surnames can be identified and it sees that in the particular locality 60% of the people are having same surname. So that means that location is dense with a population of that particular community. So that is a hidden pattern which can be retrieved using the data mining. Or if you have a query in a web search engine for information about Amazon. This is just a query, right? You want to collect the information about Amazon. But here, group together similar documents returned by search engine according to their context. So how many documents have been collected based on Amazon, based on Amazon.com. So like that, how many documents are having the context as Amazon, which is a hidden pattern which will be retrieved by data mining. So not just looking for information is data mining. Instead, looking for some kind of patterns from the available information is data mining. See, what is not data mining? Looking for information is not data mining. Whereas after searching the information, check whether any pattern is available in the collected information. That is what is called as data mining. So the data mining draws the ideas from machine learning, which I have already told you. So it also uses pattern recognition, statistics and database system. So data mining is having the concepts of machine learning, statistics, artificial intelligence, pattern recognition, database system. So when you want to deal with data mining, we have to understand it is a collection of concepts and techniques used in database system, machine learning, pattern recognition, statistics and artificial intelligence. That is why the traditional techniques are not suitable, because we have large amount of data. High dimensionality of data is being dealt by data mining, and it is going to deal with heterogeneous kinds of data, right? So these are some of the information that we have to understand in the data mining. So we should understand why we need to mine the data. Obviously, to improve your business, you need to collect lots of data, and from these data we need to find some pattern. So to find the patterns, hidden patterns, traditional techniques are not enough. You need to have proper classifying and segmentation of data, and hypothesis formation is also required, for which we need to use data mining technique. And we have seen some of the definitions for data mining. We have seen what are the different basic techniques available: data mining, techniques or methods available for identifying the patterns. Then we have simply seen what is data mining and what is not data mining. So looking for information is not data mining. From the information, whether you can collect some patterns, that is what you call as data mining. And we have also seen data mining is an integration or a collection of concepts and techniques from three different areas. One is machine learning and artificial intelligence, statistics, pattern recognition, and database system. In the next video, we will be talking about the multi-dimensional data model which is used in our data warehouse. Thank you.